Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jonathan Zuo, and I'll be teaching you about the cardiovascular system. Here are my students.
I'm Amy.
I'm Ted.
I'm Anamika.
Yes, so let us begin. Why should we learn about the cardiovascular system? Well, the cardiovascular system is important because our body runs on two things, oxygen and food. And how does oxygen and food get to our cells in the body? By the cardiovascular system. You guessed it. Alright? So the cardiovascular system is the heart and the lungs. The heart acts as the pump, and the lungs acts as the place to recharge our blood of oxygen. So I think the best way to talk about the cardiovascular system is to talk about the flow of blood through the heart and into the lungs. Let us begin. So the blood goes into the heart. Oxygen poor blood goes into the heart through the inferior vena cava and the superior vena cava. Blood below the diaphragm goes back to the heart through the inferior vena cava, and blood above the diaphragm, including the arms, goes back into the heart through the superior vena cava. And the oxygen poor blood goes to the right atria, where it goes through the tricuspid valve and into the right ventricle, where it is pumped through the pulmonary trunk and into the lungs, where it is recharged with oxygen. Okay, you guys following me? Good. Once it is recharged with oxygen in the lungs, it goes back to the left atria through the pulmonary veins. And it goes to the left atria, it travels through the mitral valve and into the left ventricle, where it is subsequently pumped through the aortic semilunar valve to the aorta and down to the rest of the body. Any questions? Yes. And one of the major risk factors about this is heart disease, because the heart is such a necessity to life. If there's something wrong with the pump, then there's something wrong with your health. And one of the major kind of heart diseases is atherosclerosis. And what that is it is the scarring of the inside of the arteries, and this is usually caused, one of the major causes of this is hypertension, high blood pressure, because high blood pressure really pounds on the insides of the arterial wall and makes it damaged. And once it is damaged, your body tries to heal it by rebuilding tissue, and that forms scar tissue. And the more scar tissue it forms, the smaller the diameter of the arterial wall. And the smaller the diameter, the less blood flow, and the less blood flow, the higher risk you are of getting like a myocardial infarction, or like a heart attack. So that's one of the huge diseases. Any questions? Yeah. No?
So what happens if, or does the blood ever go like the wrong way? What happens with that?
Yes. So there are mechanisms that prevent the reverse flow of blood, and those are the valves.
Mm-hmm.
There are 4 valves in the heart. The tricuspid valve between the right atria and the right ventricle, and that prevents the blood backflow from the right ventricle to the right atria. There is the pulmonary semilunar valve, the valve between the lungs and the right ventricle, between the pulmonary trunk and the right ventricles. There is the bicuspid valve, or the mitral valve, that's between the left atria and the left ventricle. And there is finally the aortic semilunar valve between the left ventricle and the aorta. And all those valves prevent backflow back into the heart. So it's a one-way system, unidirectional. Good question. Yes. So I hope you all enjoyed this program today. It's a very quick module of the heart, and I hope you guys take this to heart and enjoy. Thank you.